So to review our subtraction, we've got this three digit by 2 digit subtraction problem that I left you with last time. So hopefully you did it on your own. If not, we're fixing to do it together. Now, if you want to help me while I do it, I would love that. So here's our problem. Okay, so the first thing we're going to ask ourselves always, first off, we're always going to start on this side. So if we start at 2 minus 0, the first thing we're always going to ask ourselves is the bottom number bigger than the top number? And in this case, the answer is no. So we don't need to regroup or anything. All we need to do is subtract straight down. So 2 minus 0 is what? And I'm sure everybody knows 2 minus 0 is 2. Now, 4 minus 7. What do we ask ourselves? We ask ourselves, is the bottom number bigger than the top number? And in this case, the answer is yes. So what do we need to do, guys? Yes, we need to regroup. So, how do we regroup? Okay, so we're going to go next door and we're going to ask 2 if we can borrow a cup of sugar. He's got 2 cups of sugar. So he says, yes, 4, you can borrow 1 cup of sugar. So if we take 1 cup of sugar from 2, 2 now has 1 cup of sugar, and the 1 cup that he gave us goes right here. So now our 4 has become a 14. Now we can subtract easily. 14 minus 7 is what? 7. And 1 minus 0, because if there's nothing there, it's a 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. So our answer is 172. Now, if you want to check that, you can add it back. You can add 172 plus 70, and if you get 242, then you know you're correct. Alright, so that's a little refresher. Now, we're going to go into 3 digits. And 3 digits is really no harder. We're just going to regroup twice. So let's look at the numbers. 327 minus 88. So 327 minus 88. So we've got a three digit minus a 2-digit number, just like we did before, but the biggest difference is we're going to regroup twice. You're going to see what I'm talking about. So we're going to start on this side, like always. Now we're going to ask ourselves, is the bottom number bigger than the top? So is the bottom number, which is 8, bigger than 7? Yes. So we're going to regroup. So our 7 is going to walk next door and ask 2 if he can borrow a cup of sugar. 2 says yes. So now instead of having 2 cups of sugar, 2 has 1 cup of sugar. And the 1 cup of sugar that 2 gave 7 goes right here. Now let's subtract. 17 minus 8 is 9. Now, we ask ourselves here, is the bottom number 8 bigger than 1? So is 8 bigger than 1? Yes. So we have to go back next door and ask our 3 if we can borrow a cup of sugar. 3 says yes. So the 3 now has 2 cups of sugar. And the 1 cup of sugar that he gave us goes right here. So now we're ready to subtract. 11 minus 8 is 3. And 2 minus 0, because there's nothing there, so it's 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. So 327 minus 88 is 239. Now, let's think of our steps. Let's just reiterate our steps. So I'm going to make up a problem. We're not going to solve the problem. All we're going to do is say our steps. So the problem I'm going to make up is 533 minus 467. All right. 533 minus 467. So, we're not going to solve this. You can if you would like, just for practice, but we're just going to think of our steps. So, our first step, guys, where are we going to start solving this problem? Yes, right here. So, you can name this one of two things. You can say start on the far right. If you're looking at the problem, it's the right. If you're behind the board, it's the left. But I would say start on the far right. Or if you want to be more technical, this number is going to be in the ones place. So, start at the ones place. Also, if anybody ever asks you on a test, on a standardized test, to explain the steps, and you say you start at the ones place, you're really going to impress some people. So, that's what I would say. Start at the ones place. So, now, what's the first question that we ask ourselves, guys? We ask, is the bottom number bigger than the top? So, is 7 bigger than 3? Yes. So, what do we have to do, guys? So, we're going to go next door and ask for a cup of sugar. And I'm serious. If this is the way you remember it, and if this helps you remember it, you can put it in your notes. Go next door and ask for a cup of sugar. That's fine with me. Whatever helps you remember. So we go next door and ask for a cup of sugar. The 3 says yes. So now the 3 doesn't. The 3 has one less cup of sugar. So 1 less cup of sugar than 3 is 2. And that 1 cup of sugar goes right here beside the 3. So, however you want to word that in your notes is fine with me. And if these crazy little tricks help you, then that's also fine with me. Now, we go to our second number, or on a standardized test, if they say what are the steps, if you say go to the second number, technically you would be right. But what I would say is go to the tens place. Again, you're really going to impress some people. So we go to the tens place and we say, is the bottom number bigger than the top? Is 6 on bottom bigger than 2? So is 6 bigger than 2? And the answer is once again yes. So now this 2 on top is going to have to go to his neighbor, go to the 5, and say, 5, can I borrow a cup of sugar? And the 5 says yes. They'll always say yes. If they say no, they're a greedy neighbor. So let's just assume they always say yes. So now 5 doesn't have 5 cups of sugar. 5 has 4 cups of sugar. And the 1 cup of sugar that 5 gave us goes right here beside the 2. So now we're ready to subtract. And if you want to subtract, then that's fine. And if you don't want to do this problem, then that's fine too. But the more you practice, the more you're going to get it. So, I know that that's a lot of steps, and this is your notes. But if I was taking notes in a class learning about subtraction, what I would do is write this problem as an example. Write the steps that I did. So cross out the numbers, regroup just like I did, and then write your steps. And if you want to write that you went next door to borrow a cup of sugar, then that's perfectly fine. In fact, I think you should. Because if something's funny, you're more likely to remember it. And I hope that these steps are memorable and that you don't need your notes to know the steps. So keep practicing. Do your freckle, please. I can see if you don't. And I've been known to reward students that have done their online work. In fact, I just did the other day. I brought a student Reese's Cups. So, if you do your online work, I might bring you Reese's Cups. So that's just a little incentive. If not, then I don't fault you. I know some people have trouble getting on the internet. That's understandable to me. So, until next time, keep practicing. I'll see you next time. Take care and keep washing your hands.